Flirting is a social and sexual behavior involving spoken or written communication as well as body language. It is either to suggest interest in a deeper relationship with the other person or, if done playfully, for amusement.
So flirting in a relationship, how does that affect the relationship?
If that person is flirting with me, I think it's necessary.
It is necessary.
I think that, typically a person that flirted would be someone that would draw my interest. But I believe in what you start, you have to finish.
Oh, absolutely. Don't introduce me to a vibe you can't maintain.
That's so true.
Not never.
So, assuming that that person was flirting with me, then it has to continue. And it's my job also to flirt with that person.
So what if you had taken your girl out to breakfast and she was lightweight flirting with the servers? It was a handsome guy and she's, looking and, flipping her hair and every time he came around and flirting. So then how would you feel about that? And she's doing this in front of your face.
It's a good question. I mean, I think that there are people that need affirmation through flirting. But when you my woman...
We just had a full conversation.
We had a whole conversation.
We had a whole conversation.
Yeah.
But when you my woman, that's my job. Your job is to flirt with me, not with other people. But there are people that are just flirty.
Let's go back to her question, though. Like, what does that do to you? How do you feel about that?
You're doing a Fred Astaire tap dance around my question.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's unacceptable behavior.
It is unacceptable.
That's what I wanted
Say
you
what
to
it is.
Exactly.
No,
you would
because
not
if
go
she's
to-
doing this in front of your face, what is she doing behind your back?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
But
Yeah.
on the other hand, I'll just go back to this. You have to have flirting in a relationship. If you don't, the spontaneity of intimacy goes out the window.
Absolutely.
The whole vibe of your relationship becomes very methodical and thought out if you don't have flirting. Flirting keeps the spice, it keeps the heat, it keeps the desire going, it keeps you wanting more. It keeps you laughing. Like, I need
Flirty
to laugh
text messages, flirty
all
pictures,
during the day.
sexual innuendos when you're on FaceTime and conversations. That's sexy.
Listen,
And,
and you can go back in your phone and if you're still with the same person and see the way you behaved in the beginning to see if you're still doing those things, 3 years later, 5 years later, 10 years later, whatever. You need to, again, like you said, keep that vibe going. Don't start nothing you can't finish. That is what keeps people connected.
Right.
It's a part of what keeps you connected, but it is a big part for me.
I know somebody who used to flirt with their boyfriend. Excuse me. She used to flirt with her boyfriend, and she used to give like sexual innuendos to her boyfriend, and he would never like catch it and throw it back. She would say, "Did you hear what I said?" And he's like, "Yeah, I heard you." So and she would be like, "Well, okay," and she just felt.
Did you get it?
Yeah, she just felt like so lost, and she's like, "What do I do?" It was like, "Girl, he sounds very prudish to me. I mean, I don't think." And she felt like, well, I know he's interested. And I was like, well, maybe you guys aren't sexually yoked. Maybe you're not.
You could be sexually incompatible, or it could just be you all
Well, that's what I meant by
don't
sexually
speak
yoked.
the same love language. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think is flirting a love language.
It's attention.
Well, yeah.
Some people don't need it. They don't give it. They
I
don't
just
desire
think he was
it.
prudish.
I want to say it or talk about it from the male perspective.
Please do.
It's very helpful when a woman flirts with a man because women know very early on if they like a person or not.
Right.
We have to kind of grow to that point. I mean, obviously, we're attracted by the things that we see.
You guys are very visual.
Yeah, a cute face, a big behind, whatever it is that you're into, that gets your attention right away. You see that. Mm-hmm. But as a man, you end up throwing all of these darts against the wall because you don't know if that person likes you. If a person expresses interest in you, that makes your job easier because you can decide if it's something that you want to do and you can pursue it.
Are you going to stop flirting once they show you?
Once they show me, then I'm going to try to pursue that to the next level. I'm going to try to make sure that this is something that, both of us want to do.
Okay.
But it helps if you want to, because we don't catch a lot of the signs that women give us. You know, women are very good about, you know, things that they want to express with you without expressly saying them.
Give me an example.
A woman will close the distance. You know, a woman will get closer, not, you know, in your face, but she'll just, it's an ever so slight thing where she just gets a little closer.
And you wouldn't catch that?
I know,
think
I'm
you
saying,
would.
I said I would catch that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying those things are beneficial.
See, I would want a man to get closer.
You
And
wouldn't?
I would.
Oh,
I wouldn't
yeah.
want to have to be the one to get closer
Right,
to you,
right.
for you to catch it. I want you to throw it.
And so, and if when you make those sexual innuendos and you're flirting with her, do you and she says nothing, how would that make you feel?
It's
Not interested?
it's disconcerting, if I
Yeah.
could use a college word.
Yeah.
But I mean that's horrible. You know,
Yeah,
real
it is
talk. I mean
horrible.
that's something like, man, I'm
Shooting
putting
my
myself
shot.
out there. Yeah, you know.
Shooting my
I mean,
shot.
in basketball would be the equivalent of pulling up for a 3-pointer and just hitting it, nothing. You don't hit the rim. You don't hit the backboard.
Just a total air ball.
Yeah.
Just an air ball. And you don't want that. I mean, you want to, you know, you have to be confident.
Right.
Because, you know, contrary to popular belief, the popular belief is that men are choosers. It's not true.
No,
It's-
I think it is true.
It is not true.
No, why?
Because a woman has already made up her mind. All a man
Not all the time. I know you think
But
that.
go ahead.
Okay, but I think that you know men always have this situation where they feel like, I beat down her defenses. I finally got her to do it, and she simply more or less did what she was always going to do. A woman knows in the first 5 minutes if she likes you or not.
That I believe that's correct.
And all you can do as a man is mess it up. If she likes you,
That's correct too.
if she likes you, you just have to do the right things, say the right stuff, you know, shower, you know, you're good.
Also, a woman will know if she likes you enough. She may not just like you,
Just because she
but
likes
she may
you
like
doesn't.
you just enough to continue to get to know you. Everybody, it's not
So we give
black and
buying
white.
signals. Like, you know, I may give you buying signals and I may flirt with you, but I'm never going to make the first move
Yeah.
and come on and ask you for your number or ask you out. That's just not who I am. But I will flirt and give you buying signals.
And that's all I'm saying. You know,
Right.
as a man, you want to know that there is something there to pursue. And women do give you buying signals. Women will let you know that, hey, you know, this is, and not everybody that you like gets to the $200 prize round. There are some people that stay in the $100 prize round. I like you, you cool, but.
But I want to go back to your example. You said if the lady was flirting with the waiter, right?
Yeah, right,
Okay,
right.
The lady was flirting. You said, after some pushing you, you said that's unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
What if the shoe was on the other foot? You're out to dinner with your lady. The waitress is beautiful, and she's got a big old booty, and you cannot help yourself. You just keep looking, like
And she's tee-heeing all in your face,
exactly
leaning over,
like
and
your
Yeah.
girl isn't even
Yeah.
really there.
right. How are you going to shut that shit down, Mr. Heflin?
Well,
You're clearly attracted, but you know you have to shut it down.
But that's
How are you going to do it?
because, I mean, you see stuff all the time. You see stuff all the time that you want. The same way that I see a Bentley and think like, man, that's a beautiful car. But as I have to respect my woman, I have to let the waitress know that, you know, and I mean, it depends on what energy it takes. If I feel it, it could go all the way from, you do know that, you know, my wife over there would beat the shit out of you. You know, you do understand that.
So that wouldn't be a good answer for me.
Okay,
Right.
but
Because you passing the buck to her instead of you handling it.
Right, you making it sound like your wife is a thug. Now, I wouldn't like that.
But there is
You
there,
have to handle.
you need to see.
We beat them up now.
You need to make
Sit down.
you can't make it sound like your wife is a thug. You need to make it sound like I'm not
I
interested
said-
in you because
And I'm not having
because
it.
I have the prize here.
Exactly. And I'm
I-
not having this behavior.
I'm taking off your
Go
mic.
ahead.
Okay,
We're
so
going to let you talk.
I said that's one possible way of dealing with it. Another is to accentuate my wife and say, hey, you know, you do see my wife sitting there, or, you know, man, don't make her. I mean, I go back to the thug. 95th Street in me comes out at no matter what. And I like thug girls. They need love too. So, so within that,
Okay.
within that, I'm gonna protect her unless she gives me the signal or she starts to protect herself. And if she does, I'm gonna back her play. And I'm gonna let that person know, you know.
You're gonna protect who? Your wife?
My wife.
Until
Yeah.
she gives you the signals.
Right. If I'm gonna say, hey, you know, if I start to talk and I say, hey, you know, you do see my wife sitting there, and if she's like, no, baby, I got this. I'm gonna let her do her thing and I'm gonna back her play. But if I have to, I'm gonna tell her, this waitress, that hey, don't do that. That's not cool.
Because you about to mess up my good evening. What is there ever an instance when you're being flirted with, you're on a date with your girl, and you don't realize it, but she realizes it? What is that? What does that look like to you? Like, do you not catch it?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. And you
Well,
know,
how can you catch it if you don't realize it?
because sometimes you try to ignore it because you're like, man, if I don't say anything, maybe it'll go
That's-
away.
Go away.
I think that's what most men do.
But sometimes
I
too.
don't think so. I think that they don't ignore it because they like it. They feel, you know, desired. They feel like their egos then
Not
take
if they
over.
think it's going to cause them a bad evening later. I think they want to just pretend like it's not
I
happening.
think they say they oh, I didn't realize. I think that they say
depending
Oh,
that.
100%.
Yeah.
I think it's not true, but I
Yeah.
think that's the
And-
play.
And
Yeah.
depending on the woman that you're with, you know what her level or her tolerance is for those sort of things. So you want to kind of respond in a way that's not going to, you know, as you said, send the evening up.
Right.
Right.
And sometimes you notice it sometimes. But as men, sometimes we can be oblivious. I mean, let's face it, women are talented. So they can flirt with you in ways that, you know, I mean, women, like, you know, love languages. I love that. I love the love languages. Because a woman can do something that's flirtatious, but I may not even see it. For instance, I sign the bill, and when I sign the bill, I give it back to her, and she does this. Thank you.
Right.
That's way too much. That's
Right.
flirtatious.
Right.
But in that instance, I may not catch it.
You don't realize that was physical touch,
It felt good.
but your
It felt good.
girl and your wife or whoever is sitting right there.
It felt good.
Oh, yeah, it's you about to burn the house down.
I'm saying.
It felt good.
Just call him Mr. Gasoline.
Girl.